you like listening to this station, DZRJ 810 AM. There's no excuse not to listen anywhere and wherever you want. Listen on your phone or computer anytime, anywhere in the world. Just download the app for free. How do you download? If you have an Android phone or tablet, go to Google Play Store. If you have an iPhone or iPad, go to Apple App Store. It's that simple. You have 3 choices. Just type in TuneIn Radio. Once the app is downloaded, search for DZRJ 810 AM. For Radio Garden app, once it's downloaded, search for DZRJ 810 AM. And for Streama app, that's STREEMA. And once it's downloaded, search for DZRJ 810 AM. And now you can enjoy DZRJ 810 AM anytime and anywhere. Hey, it's free.
To all Teleradio Bandido viewers and listeners,
you can now watch Teleradio Bandido on our new YouTube channel, RJAM News.
Hit the subscribe button and like the video. Don't forget to click the bell icon so you get notified when a new video gets uploaded. Don't miss out on our dynamite lineup.
Magandang umaga po sa inyo lahat. Pleasant good morning to everyone and to our friends, ang ating mga higala, mga amigo diya sa Dakbayan sa Visayas, mga ating mga syudad sa Visayas. Maayong buntag kaninyong tanan. Hopefully nakapagpahinga po kayo, nakapagpahuway sa ating mga Bisayang mga kauban, nakapagpahuway mo over the weekend. I'm sure all of us really need to recharge from time to time. Although, siyempre, may mga iba sa ating mga kasamahan naman ay talaga pati weekend po ay kailangan pa rin magtrabaho. But at the end of the day, we should really find time to pause, recharge. Kasi pag na-recharge ka, lalo kang magiging effective. So, I hope nakapag-recharge kayo. And ito po ang ating programa, Kontra Birada, dito sa Radyo Bandido at napapanood din sa RJTV. Ako po ang inyong lingkod sa Atty. Mike Toledo. And mamaya po, makakasama natin ang ating partner. Walang iba kundi si Atty. Jimeno. Today is March 7, it's a Monday, and start of the week, just a few more weeks, and then election na. So before you know it, malalaman na natin kung sino ang magiging bagong Pangulo, bagong Vice President, at mga bagong miyembro ng Kongreso at mga local government officials in the next couple of weeks. No? Talagang ang bilis ng panahon. Hindi mo akalain na malapit-lapit na. May 9 is, it's just around the corner, so to speak. Pero when it comes to politics, sabi nga nila, even 1 or 2 weeks is an eternity. Ang ibig pong sabihin nun, just because 1 or 2 weeks na lang ang natitira bago magkaroon ng halalan before the election day arrives or comes, hindi ibig sabihin na pwede kang kampante. Kung ikaw ay tumatakbo bilang kandidato, even if you're ahead, na pwede kang maging kampante. Kaya nga sinasabi nila, a week or 2 weeks is an eternity in politics. Kung ikaw naman ay nauhuli, it doesn't mean that there's no chance for you to catch up. So I guess until the very last day, so to speak, yun mo talaga malalaman kung may chance ka. And pag nagkaroon ng tinatawag nating exit polls, then you have a general idea. No? Ang exit polls ay nagaganap, ito yung survey na ginagawa after the voter or the voters would render or cast their votes. When they stepped out, they're being asked who they voted for. And if they're truthful, of course, to the survey, it will more or less, with the usual plus-minus error, so to speak, no? Plus-minus error of 3 to 4% if I'm not mistaken. Usually, lumalabas talaga kung sino ang kanilang napili. And I think the same was true, ito po ay totoo, dun din sa mga nakarang eleksyon. Nung nagkaroon sila ng tinatawag na exit polls. So, magkakaroon na ng feel no, kung sino talaga ang nanguna. Pag sinundan natin ang mga survey na lumabas, Pulse Asia, Lilo, and pati na rin po yung social SWS, Social Weather Station, nakita na naman po kung sino pa rin ang nanguna. si dating Senador BBM o Bongbong Marcos pa rin, at nakasunod naman ating Vice President si Leni Robredo, and then we have also Mayor Isko Moreno, Manny Pacquiao, Senator Ping, and the rest. It follows. No? And gusto ko nga makita sana ang resulta ng latest survey. Hindi ko pa alam kung kailan lalabas, para gusto ko makita kung ito bang non-attendance ni Senator BBM in some of the surveys, no? May impact ba talaga to dun sa kanyang being number one? May nagsasabi meron, may nagsasabi wala. Kasi hindi naman sa hindi lumalabas si BBM sa mga interviews, pinipili lang niya kung saan siya lalabas. And of course, pinipili niya kung saan debate siya lalabas. At karapatan naman niya yun, at part din yan ng campaign strategy. Kaya siguro pinag-aaralan din nila talaga, kasi kung meron ding epekto ito at lumalabas nga na the non-attendance on some of the scheduled surveys in the past, kung may epekto to sa kanyang kandidatura, I'm sure mag-a-adjust naman yung mga campaign managers niya. Pero, alam mo, naiintindihan din natin siguro, no? Kung ikaw naman ay nangunguna at malaki pang lamang mo, sometimes, sabi nga nila, the less talk, less mistake. But maybe up to a certain point, baka may punto naman na talagang gusto rin ng mga taong bayan na sumama siya at magsabak sa debate. But then again, that is really up to the candidate and to the, of course, the campaign team. Kasi ang objective naman dito, hindi naman, kung ikaw naman ay campaign manager, yung real objective really is to make sure that your candidate would win. Diba? At kaya nga meron kang mga strategy at merong survey na binabantayan. May iba na konti, no? Aside from politics, habang hinihintay natin si Atty. Karen, and sana mapanayam natin ng dating Secretary San na tumatakbo din. Kasi alam mo, pag when it comes to mga legal issues, gusto natin tanongin din si Sexal. At pati na rin po kung ano yung mga development sa Malacanang. Kasi hanggang ngayon, hindi pa po natin nalalaman kung meron ba talagang i-endorse si PRRD bilang Pangulo. So far po, sa pagkaalam ko, he has not endorsed anyone yet. He said that he will only support the candidacy of his daughter, Mayor Sara, who's running for vice president. But you'll never know. As I said, in politics, 2 weeks is a long time. Baka naman siguro pinag-aaralan pa niya mabuti kung sino talaga ang kanya susuportahan. At he might just spring a surprise, maybe a week before. And sa aking pananaw, malaking bagay pa rin ang endorso natin Pangulo. Dahil sa lahat na naging presidente, hanggang ngayon, no? Usually pag you're already in the twilight of your term, no? On your 5th or 6th year, history has shown ang iyong popularity or credibility, kahit pa paano, mas magaling ka pa man, ay bumababa. I guess it's a normal reaction. Siguro nagsasawa na yung mga tao or whatever it is, no? For whatever reason. But usually, it really goes down. Ganun lang talaga. Empirically, no? Scientifically. Pero iba yung nangyari kay Pangulong Duterte. Very popular pa rin siya. Very satisfactory pa rin. Kung susundan nyo talaga yung survey, yung po ang lumalabas. Kaya ang kanyang endorso, of course, will still be very meron pa rin pong epekto. Sa akin pong pananaw, meron pa rin pong plus factor yan kung sino man niyang i-endorse niya. Kaya abangan po natin yan. Maganda sana tanungin si Sexal kung what is the latest, if ever there is. Pero I just wanted to mention that, first of all, condolences to Congressman Mark Wangko. Kung natatandaan niyo po, about a few weeks ago, siya po ay ating naging panauhin dito sa ating programa. At he was talking about the possible revisit, no? And the rethinking of the use of nuclear power in the Philippines. Kasi po ang kanyang kapatid na pinag-usapan din natin na at that time po ay he was in a coma. Si dating Congressman Charlie Coangco ay pumano na po. Sayang, bata pa po. She was only 58 years old. Nagkaroon kasi po siya ng aneurysm at from then hindi na po naka-recover. So our deepest condolences to the family of the Coangcos and to Congressman Mark. And nabanggit ko rin si Congressman Mark, aside from greeting him our deepest condolences. Dahil nga last week lang po, kung nabantayan nyo ang mga news, nag-issue po na executive order si Pangulong Duterte, an EO, I think it was EO 164, no? Na pag-aralan ang paggamit ng nuclear energy. Pag-aralan ang buhayin ulit ang Bataan Nuclear Power Plant. Kung hindi nyo nakalimutan, kung natatandaan nyo pa po, yun ang naging topic natin with Congressman Marco Wangco, who has always been, from the very beginning, he has always been a staunch believer, advocate, and supporter of nuclear power. He has been very consistent from the very beginning, even if it was unpopular, perhaps at that time, very unpopular because of the issues, the political issues that surrounded the Bataan Nuclear Power Plant. He was very adamant, he was very focused and consistent sa kanyang pananaw na talagang kailangan natin ang nuclear power. Na ang nuclear power ay safe, it's clean energy, at ang nuclear power po, kayang-kaya naman pag pinag-aralan po mabuti at kayang-kaya din yan i-handle ng mga Pilipino. Sa katunayan, sabi nga ng Department of Science and Technology, why do we have to underestimate the capabilities of Filipinos? Our own capabilities to build a nuclear power plant, to operate a nuclear power plant. Kung kaya ng ibang bansa, kaya din daw po natin. So, if you recall the discussions then, maganda yung explanation niya. In-explain niya kung paano nagkaroon ng plano ng Bataan Nuclear Power Plant at kung ano ang reason bakit yun po ay pinush ng dating Pangulong Ferdinand Marcos to put up a power plant so that we can have energy security. Ngunit nagkaroon po ng change of administration in 1986. It was mothballed. Ang problema noon, mothballed nga pero wala namang kapalit na ginawa kaya nagkaroon tayo ng maraming brownouts. Ngayon, with the prices of oil and gas going up, especially because of the crisis in Ukraine, the war. In fact, bago nagkagera pa sa Ukraine, bago in-invade ng Russia ang Ukraine, napapansin nyo na po, tumataas na din po talaga ang gasolina. At pag tumaas ang gasolina, ang presyo, alam naman po natin na apektuhan din yan ang mga basic commodities, mode of transportation, doing business. Na at the end of the day po, ay pinapasa naman po sa atin mga consumers kung pagtaas ng mga presyo na yan. Kaya naisip nga ni Presidente na siguro, at pati na rin ni Secretary Cusi, our Energy Secretary, na we really should review our energy mix. Una-una, we're very much dependent on importation. Karamihan sa ating mga requirements, we import our oil, our gas. Although we have Malampaya, where it supplies more than 30% of the gas requirements in Luzon, ito po ay marapit na rin pong mawala. No? Kasi finite po yan. Ibig sabihin po na finite, may kahangganan. It will not last forever. So, kaya naghahanap din po tayo ng mga other sources of energy, kagaya ng mga sa West Philippine Sea, sa tinatawag na Service Contract 72, sa Reed Bank. Ang sinasabi po nila, marami doon. No? Gas, hydrocarbons, deposits, maybe even bigger than Malampaya. Kaya nga, ito pag pinag-uusapan, pinag-meetingan, kung paano natin ito magamit, ma-exploit. No? Kasi sayang nga naman kung nandyan, at because of geopolitical tensions or problems with, for example, with our neighbor China, hindi po naayos yan, sayang naman po. Kaya nagkakaroon ng ongoing discussions between both governments and of course, pati na rin sa mga private companies involved. Tingnan natin kung ano talagang magagawa dyan. And it's good to know that we have the Secretary of Energy who's really leading the forefront in those discussions as well. Pero hindi lang po limited sa West Philippine Sea. Meron din dun sa tinatawag na Liguanan Marsh yata po yun, nasa may North Cotabato, nasa Mindanao, in other words. Meron ding oil and gas findings doon na tinitignan at pinag-aaralan na baka pwede namang baka may marami din makikita doon. Kasi importante at the end of the day, meron tayong sariling tinatawag nating indigenous source of energy. Because if we solely rely on import, kung puro lang i-import natin yung sarili nating energy needs, like say oil, gas, coal, for example, no? Karamihan sa ating coal, magagaling pa sa Indonesia. Ito po ay magiging problema pag wala tayong sariling sources. Dahil kagaya na nangyari sa Indonesia, biglang sinabi nila, hindi na muna kami mag-export ng coal. Kailangan namin eh. Kaya nga naman, di ba? Unahin muna namin ang sarili namin. Di ba? Sabi ng mga Indonesians. Kaya nga nakikiusap tayo sa Indonesians kung pwede naman baka magkaroon tayo ng agreement. No? Mabigyan tayo ng coal because still majority of our power plants rely on coal. Lalo na dun sa tinatawag ng base load. No? Base load requirements ng ating mga energy companies, power companies. Kaya itong EO ni Presidente ay maganda to. Magandang development to. Binuhay. Kaya tayo, siguro nga timing nga. No? Few weeks ago lang, inimbita natin si Congressman Marco Wangco na pag-usapan ng energy, nuclear energy in particular. Pati na rin yung nga, Bata Nuclear Power Plant, pati na rin yung tinatawag na modular nuclear energy na pwedeng i-deploy sa mga provinces na nakakonect sa grid. At ito po, ay sinabi na rin ni Secretary Cusi na pinag-aaralan talagang nilang mabuti ito, lalo na doon sa mga far-flung areas na mahirap abutin ng power. So timing yung diskusyon na yun because just a few weeks after, ito na. Ang maganda dito, there's a recognition by the government and by the President na kailangan talagang bigyang tugon at aksyonan ang mga energy requirements ng bayan. Pag-aralan mabuti yung energy mix, okay, kailangan natin ng renewables, tuloy natin yan. May coal pa, may gas. Pero wag nating wag na lang ilagay sa table for discussion or for implementation eventually yung nuclear. Kaya magandang development ito at sana ay ito'y tuloy-tuloy even to the next administration. At least bigyan ng serious thought and consideration. Do we go nuclear, and if we do we operate? Is it safe to operate the Bataan nuclear power plant? Anyway, on that note, let's take a short break. Wag mo muna po kayong malis. We'll be right back in a bit. Stay with us.
A straight question deserves a straight answer. Presenting Straight Easy RJ 810 AM RJ.
With the candidates, maganda pong format yon. You will have questions being asked, pointed, valid and relevant questions being asked the candidate, kung sino man yung tumatakbo at sino yung guest at that time, and they answer. Apparently they answer. So congratulations, and we are looking forward to that, which I understand mag-uumpisa po bukas. That's Tuesday, Martes, March 8. That's very interesting indeed kasi kagaya ng sinabi natin doon sa ating mga programa in the past, isa po sa mga talaga kailangan gawin ng media pati na rin ng mga different organizations is talagang tulungan na ma-inform talaga ang ating mga electorate, ang ating mga botante, lalo na po yung mga first-time voters as to what are the stands, no? Ano bang paninindigan, paniniwala at mga programa ng ating mga kandidato. What do they believe in? And how will they answer certain questions? Kagaya ng isang magandang tanong na nakita ko sa ating commercial break. If BBM becomes president, will he abolish the PCGG? Magandang tanong po yun. And kung ako sa inyo, abangan niyo po ang sagot niya. Diba? Because alam naman po natin, the PCGG was formed with the end in view of trying to recover what was perceived or alleged or if proven the ill-gotten wealth of the Marcos family. And ang tanong siguro, was the PCGG able to prove something? And if they did, what was the amount involved and all that, no? And yun nga, pag nanalo siya, ano po ang magiging position niya with respect to this particular agency. Kaya maganda po to. Huwag niyo pong kalimutan panoorin yan bukas kasi ang mga tanong dito hindi yung mga soft questions. These are hard-pointed questions from what you call this, hard journalist, which at the end of the day, yun nga dapat, hard-pointed questions should be asked. And of course, we require our candidates to answer it directly and honestly as possible para malaman ng taong bayan talaga kung ano ang inyong paninindigan. And at the end of the day, voters will have the material and then the discernment to make a intelligent decision. Ang boto niyo po ay very important. Kaya nga sinasabi nila when it comes to elections, pantay-pantay po lahat. Rich or poor, whatever segment or class of society you have, your vote is equivalent to the other man's vote. Kaya wag niyo pong sayangin. Although balita ko naman, according to surveys, chances are they're expecting despite COVID. Pababa na rin naman ng cases, no? Sinasabi nila na talaga ang turnout usually ng mga Filipino voters is quite high. And they're anticipating that the turnout for this year's elections will be also high. We're talking briefly about COVID kasi napag-usapan na rin natin ng COVID, no? The good news about it is that talagang sinasabi na ng DOH, ng IATF, na yung daily tally na active cases nila ay going down. Daily rate of infections ay bumababa na rin. So it continues to drop. Again, very, very good news for all of us, for each of us, no? At sana naman po, ating andasal, siyempre, sana tuloy-tuloy na talaga to. Wala nang mga panibagong variants, etc., etc. Kaya, to prevent that, sinasabi nga nila, yung mga hindi pa nagpapabooster, o una-una, yung mga siguro hindi pa talaga nagpapabakuna, magpabakuna na po kayo. Yung hindi naman po nagpabooster, balita ko, available na po ang mga booster shots, pero hindi pa yata kulang pa rin yung nag-avail. Siguro nga medyo nagiging kampante na ng konti dahil na lumuluwag na, no? Pero that should not make us complacent. Wag po tayo maging kampante kasi yun po ang delikado. Kaya while the cases are going down, which is good, I think sinasabi ng ating mga health authorities na very clear sila, you must still continue with the vaccination, the booster shots, the wearing of masks in certain places. So yung mga health protocols in place ay dapat sundan pa rin. But nakikita niyo na even during the weekend, di ba? Medyo talagang halos balik na tayo pre-pandemic. People are out, traffic is back. Yun na nga, no? Yun lang medyo hindi natin masyadong wini-welcome yung traffic. Parang you feel happy that marami ng tao lumalabas. Ibig sabihin, meron ng kumpiyansa ang tao. May kumpiyansa na siyang lumabas. At pag may kumpiyansa, ibig sabihin may kumpiyansa na siyang magnegosyo, may kumpiyansa na siyang kumain sa labas, may kumpiyansa na siyang bumili, bumisita ng mga iba't ibang mga establishments. At gumugulong ang, di ba, the wheels of business are moving. The wheels of the economy are moving if people are on the move and on the go. Pero at the same time, yun nga, medyo nafe-feel mo na talaga yung traffic. Kaya, well, it's both a blessing and a curse, I guess. No? Mabalik na very briefly on the nuclear. No? Again, I guess this is also part of President Duterte's legacy. No? Legacy mode na siya. Kasi alam niya na bababa na siya in June, no? After the May 9 elections. At siguro gusto lang niyo makita that certain laws are in place, or certain aspirations, or certain regulations. Kagaya, for example, yung pagpasa ng Foreign Investments Act. Ang nabalita ko, napirma na yan, and this will actually make it, without the need to amend the Constitution, hindi na kailangan po palitan pa or i-revise or i-amend ang saligang batas. Ngunit this will allow more foreign investors to come in. Isa po sa mga sinasabi ng mga ibang eksperto, the reason why we are tailing behind the ASEAN countries, for example, in terms of luring a number of big investments into the country is allegedly because of our laws. Some of our laws are not are so strict na you may be saying you want foreign investors to come in, but actually you are discouraging them by making it difficult for them to put up a business. Even the red tape, the red tape can be a deterrent, can discourage foreign investors from coming in. Kaya nga itong anti-red tape, itong ARTA na tinayo, na pinirmahan ni President Duterte to make the process of applying for any permits shorter is a big help, it's a big boon. Now, ito namang kakasabi ko lang, yung foreign trade, foreign investments law, it will again encourage foreign investors to come in. No? Mas madali na ngayon silang pumasok dito para magnegosyo at talaga mag-invest. Hindi lang yung sa stock market, kasi yung sa stock market, pwede lumabas ka agad yan eh. Pati BPO nga eh, yung mga business processing, outsourcing businesses, okay yan, nakakatuloy yan ngayon. Pero if you think about it, gusto nila umalis, madali sila umalis. Pero pag nagtayo talaga sila ng pabrika dito, they put up a manufacturing plant, factories and all that, hindi nila basta-basta tatanggalin yan. That's a big investment, and that means they will be invested really in the country to provide jobs, pay taxes, etc. etc. Ito din pinasa yung Public Service Act. Isa ding magandang encouragement yan for the foreign investors kasi hindi na covered ang telecommunications as far as the investors are concerned, kasi there are provisions in the Constitution which requires a 60-40 constitutionally enshrined requirement on the nationality principle. Kailangan 60 Filipino, 40% foreign. For some foreigners, parang sila doon, dahil malalagay sila ng malaking pera, pero bakit 40% lang sila? Kaya ito, tinanggal na yun. Not on all industries. Yung telecommunications, for example, pero certain industries like water distribution, sewerage, etc., ay talagang kailangan pa rin majority Filipino because the framers of the law consider it as strategic industries that at the end of the day must be always in the control of Filipinos. So meron din yung retail trade liberalization law. Maganda rin din po yun. Dahil sa batas na yan, maraming mga malalaking establishment on retail will come into the Philippines, which will allow us consumers to have access maybe at more affordable prices. Kaya itong EO on nuclear kasama rin sa aking pananaw sa legacy mode ng ating Pangulo ni President Duterte. Anyway, hindi na nakasama sa atin si Atty. Karen. So siguro ay siya ay naipit sa mga meetings niya, but hopefully we will see her. Again, congratulations to RJTV, for Radyo Bandido to have the program inviting all the presidential candidates to answer pointed questions. And abangan niyo po yun. That's tomorrow, Martes, March 8th. If I'm not mistaken, that's 6 in the evening. So don't forget to watch that and listen to that. And hopefully din siguro, kung matuloy yung aming mga other invitation sa business groups naman, na maging panauhin namin ang iba pang mga hindi tumanggap sa aming invitasyon, na maging guest rather sa aming programa naman, which is focusing on economic reforms. I hope they also accept that at papanoorin niyo po. At I will inform you when that time comes. So again, to all our listeners, ating tagapakinig at nanonood, maraming salamat for joining us this morning. We'll see you again tomorrow. Tomorrow it's at 5 to 6:30 or no, hanggang 6 na po tayo kasi may programa tomorrow at 6. So maraming salamat ulit. Enjoy your day, enjoy your lunch, and see you. Goodbye.